Hey, how you doing? It is, I don't even know what day it is today. I'm going to go with Tuesday, February the 9th. It's been a crazy weekend. We had an awesome time at main campus this weekend with our youth booth and getting to connect with a lot of you parents and families and students and potential leaders. Had an awesome Super Bowl party with our super group this Sunday afternoon. It was amazing. And for CSC parents who are watching this right now, what I'd like to say is keep this in mind. This is really significant. Remember that there is no youth services again this weekend, that being Sunday, February 14th, due to the long weekend. So do church with your families. Have an amazing weekend. And as you know, it's been a tough week. It continues to be a tough week here at Center Street Church. I would ask for your continued prayers and support as the leadership has some really difficult and tough decisions to make regarding the future of many people who work here. So please keep that in mind. And just really quickly, what I wanted to talk about here today as we continue these thoughts and processes of the church and the family coming together to collide is the whole idea of family values. And I think to some extent what families really value versus what the church believes families really value. Sometimes when you work in the church context, you have these idealistic ideas of what families do value. And they're very, very different to what families value. Now here's the issue. It's that it's so important and so incredibly key that the church figures that out, I think, to start. What does a family really value? Not ideally, but what does, or what should maybe the families value? A church would say, the family should really value simplicity and spending time together. And the average family would say, you know what, yeah, that's true. We should value that, but we don't. If you were to poll a large number of families in our culture and society today, you would find out that that is really the one thing that they don't value. Many families, if we're incredibly and brutally honest, we tend to value busyness, and we almost wear it as a badge of honor, the fact that we're outsourcing our kids all over the map, and we're keeping them busy. So the church values the family, and they say simplicity and simple. And the family says, oh, that's really nice, but guess what, church? We actually value busyness and everything you're fighting against. Well, in the book, Think Orange, Reggie Joyner makes a couple points, but he says this, and I think this is so incredibly key here. He says this: it's one thing to stand up for what you believe, but it's easy to lose sight of the root issues that genuinely affect a family. Like, it's so important and so key that us as a church family do not lose sight of those root issues that affect a family. While numerous organizations have waged a war for family values, family relationships continue to break down. They continue to break down. And this is why. Look what's going on in North America. Divorce still affects most half of all marriages. Nearly 1 million children are abused every year. The second highest cause of death for teenagers is suicide. 1/3 of single parents live below the poverty line. And 22% of women have experienced domestic violence. And these are stats that are within the church and within society. He goes on here, I'm hopeful that we will honestly ask ourselves as Christian leaders, and I ask this as too, are we so focused on fighting for family values that we are not being effective at fighting for the relationships we should value in our families? You see, I think that's what the church needs to concentrate on, really. Are those relationships, the values within those relationships, then trying to define what the values of a family should be. Because it's amazing how transferable the word spoken over 3,500 years ago to families in our culture, and that being the words of Moses in Deuteronomy 6. Check that out. But I believe they can help us rethink our family relationships and establish a new set of values that can transform how we do family. And that's what we're going to look here over the next week or two, is look at some of these family values. Not how do we value family and what are these idealistic approaches, but these simple values that I think as we look into them and really kind of define what they are, and some of the processes and steps that we can use to begin to implement them into our families, it can make a huge difference within those relationships. Well, it was great talking to you. I hope you're doing well. Remember, continue to pray for Center Street Church over the next few days, and look forward to seeing you soon. God bless. Ciao for now.